Hello learners, this is Sir Bambi and welcome to my review class. Without further ado, let's start. Number 1. What part of the heart receives the oxygenated blood to be sent to the left ventricle? A. Right ventricle. B. Right atrium. C. Left ventricle. Or D. Left atrium. And the correct answer is letter D. Left atrium. The left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it down into the left ventricle, which delivers it to the body. What do we mean when say oxygenated blood? Oxygenated blood is formed when blood from the body gets mixed with the oxygen in the lungs. Number 2. Blank is the thickest of the heart's chambers and is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood to tissues all over the body. A. Right ventricle. B. Right atrium. C. Left ventricle. Or D. Left atrium. And the correct answer is letter C. Left ventricle. The left ventricle of the heart is the strongest pumping chamber of the heart and is responsible for pumping oxygenated blood to the body. Number 3. Which of the following carries the deoxygenated blood from the vena cava to the right ventricle? A. Septum. B. Right atrium. C. Left ventricle. Or D. Left atrium. And the correct answer is letter B. Right atrium. The right atrium is one of the 4 chambers of the heart. It is located in the upper right corner of the heart, superior to the right ventricle. The right atrium receives the oxygenated blood from the body through the inferior and superior vena cava and communicates with the right ventricle to help transport it through the tricuspid valve to the lungs to be oxygenated. When we say deoxygenated blood is formed when blood gets mixed with carbon dioxide. Blank is the chamber within the heart that is responsible for pumping oxygen-depleted blood to the lungs. A. Right ventricle. B. Right atrium. C. Left ventricle. Or D. Left atrium. And the correct answer is letter A. Right ventricle. The right ventricle is one of the heart's 4 chambers. It is located in the lower right portion of the heart below the right atrium and opposite the left ventricle. As the oxygenated blood flows into the right atrium, it passes through the tricuspid valve and into the right ventricle, which pumps the blood up through the pulmonary valve and through the pulmonary artery to the lungs. Number 5. Blood normally flows from the capillaries directly into A. Small arteries, B. Small veins, C. Lymph vessel, or letter D. Heart atria. And the correct answer is letter B. Small veins. Remember that blood flows from the capillaries into very small veins called venules, then into the veins that lead back to the heart. Number 6. A pulse can be detected most easily in A. An artery, B. A vein, C. A capillary, or letter D. A lacteal. The correct answer is letter A. An artery. A pulse can be detected most easily in arteries as they are under much greater pressure than veins because they are carrying blood away from the heart, which is the pumping machine to force blood to move to all of the body. Every time the heart contracts, it can be felt in an artery where a surge of blood has just been forced. Number 7. Which protects the body from infection? A. Plasma, B. Red blood cell, C. White blood cell, or letter D. Hemoglobin. The correct answer is letter C. White blood cell. When we say plasma, plasma also called blood plasma, the liquid portion of blood. Plasma serves as a transport medium for delivering nutrients to the cells of the various organs of the body and for transporting waste products derived from cellular metabolism to the kidneys, liver, and lungs for excretion. And the red blood cell, a type of blood cell that is made in the bone marrow and found in the blood. Red blood cells contain a protein called hemoglobin, which carries oxygen from the lungs to all parts of the body. Then the white blood cell is a type of blood cell that is made in the bone marrow and found in the blood and lymph tissue. White blood cells are part of the body's immune system. They help the body fight infection and other diseases. Then the hemoglobin is a protein in red blood cells that transports oxygen around the body. Number 8. The human heart is covered by a double membrane sac called A. Pleura, B. Cura, C. Epicardium, or letter D. Pericardium. The correct answer is letter D. The pericardium. The pericardium, also called pericardial sac, is a double-walled sac containing the heart and the roots of the great vessels. It has two layers, an outer layer made of strong connective tissue called fibrous pericardium and an inner layer made of serous membrane called the serous pericardium. Number 9. What is the largest artery in the body? A. Aorta, B. Pulmonary artery, C. Coronary arteries, letter D. Pulmonary veins. And the correct answer is letter A. The aorta. The aorta is the main and the largest artery in the human body, originating from the left ventricle of the heart and extending down to the abdomen, where it splits into two smaller arteries. The aorta distributes oxygenated blood to all parts of the body through the systematic circulation. Number 10. The lifespan of red blood cell is blank days. A. 80, B. 120 days, B. 180 days, or letter D. 200. The correct answer is letter B. 120 days. Red blood cells contain only the hemoglobin protein, are unable to reproduce, and can only survive for about 120 days or 4 months before they die and become recycled and destroyed. And that ends our review for today. Don't forget to subscribe to join my class, like this video for your attendance, and hit the notification bell para hindi ka malate sa review ko. This is Sir Bambi and you may now evaporate. See you!